Alrighty, I am back. We are here with another round 2 game, and it looks like this time it's going to be a Terran versus Terran. In the top left, as the green Terran, we have RandomBanana, and in the bottom right, as the blue Terran, we have spacelobster. So, hoping to see something a little exciting this time around. We've got a nice round 2 game coming along, so you know, the quality of play has stepped up since round 1. You know, we're seeing very almost identical straight up openings from both sides, which wasn't a common occurrence in round 1, but in round 2, well, this is expected. You know, they're both placing their supply depots in a logical location, and they're building SCVs as fast as they can. Look, immediately the SCVs, they're fantastic. Barracks come down roughly the same time. One of them about half a second later than the other. It doesn't matter. And look, these builds are just completely identical. Look at this. It's like somebody's playing themselves. But like, this is what you expect. This is completely normal. This SCV, where's he going? Where's he rallied to? Oh, he's just gonna have a little look around in them, in Space Lobster's base. Alright, so it seems as though nothing nefarious will be occurring. These SCVs actually aren't mining the gas, they're idle. Please fix that. That's sad. Okay, thank you. Alright. Meanwhile, in the realm of Space Lobster, well, not much is going on. No scouting. The barracks is nearly finished. We're going to have to see what happens next. Okay, immediately orbital command. That's good. Both players know exactly what to do. Space Lobster opts for the reactor. And both players opt for the reactor before Marine, which I've said before is fine, but, you know. After having a good look around, I don't know where this guy's going to go. This guy's looking like he's getting ready to build and expand. The money is there. Okay, the expand comes down now. Similar timing to the expand from RandomBanana. Wow, these people really are just playing a complete mirror match. What is this? Like, really emphasis on the mirror. I can hear a mule drop. This SCV gone to this corner of the base. Does this... Is there vision of this? There is not. This SCV could slap down a barracks here. Never mind. There is now vision of that SCV. It has been lost, though. It has been lost. So it could happen. Look, watch this space. Meanwhile, the factory coming out... Look, how do you commentate this when they're literally doing exactly the same things? Apart from this scout, which is the only difference. Okay, now a little bit of a difference. Marines are actually in production for the green Terran, but the blue Terran is supply blocked, which is gonna make that a little bit difficult. So a slight lead for RandomBanana here, because both players are basically doing the same build, except Space Lobster did not got supply blocked and RandomBanana did not. That being said, they are in producing another barracks. And the factory is finished with our players, so I'll see what that means next. Another orbital command for RandomBanana. An idle SCV for Space Lobster. Please make him do something. Here comes the tech lab. Hopefully we're going to see some marine upgrades coming out of this. Starport in production for RandomBanana. Meanwhile, a Reaper, the choice of unit from Space Lobster. Maybe they're gonna try and scout now. But if you want to do that, you want to do it earlier, really. An early Reaper can actually do some damage and have a good look around. While at this stage, there's enough Marines to keep the Reaper out, if that is what is desired. So, you know, the time's been and gone, really. I'm noticing that... Actually, I'm not noticing much at all, really, because, again, very, very similar stuff. This is a tech lab on this, factory, so it looks like it's going to be tanks from Space Lobster. Meanwhile, tank nearly finishing up for our green Terran RandomBanana. This SCV being put back to work. Good. No slacking, please. Stim in production for Space Lobster. And now allow me to talk about the Terran versus Terran matchup for a second. When you're getting marine upgrades in the Terran versus Terran matchup, it's actually known that you should research combat shield first. Normally, yes, stim first is the play, but against Terran, as Terran, you want to get combat shield first. Combat shield only Marines beat stim only Marines. That being said, stim only Marines will beat Marines without any of these things, which is currently what it's looking like it will be, unless another barracks is put down with a tech lab soon. noticing how, despite the larger defense and units count, RandomBanana doesn't have the production facilities to make much more other than this one starport. While, you know, here we have the starport and we have like 4 barracks now. So, you know, production facilities definitely in favor of Space Lobster here. And, you know, the more production facilities you have, the faster you can spend your money. Of course, to get that money, you probably want to expand at this stage of the game. But, you know, this Liberator gonna go out and have a little wander. Probably gonna go into the mineral line and go into liberation mode and kill a few workers. The Marines are over here, so it'll take them a little bit to get here, and I imagine that several workers will die. That being said, this mineral line is oversaturated, so, you know, please, like redistribute your workers or something. That'd be wonderful. Alright, Stim about to finish up for Space Lobster, and the Liberation Zone is enacted. A turret comes down, a supply depot comes down, but it will not finish. Multiple SCVs going to die. A Marine caught in the crossfire. Multiple SCVs. This guy has like 9 kills and counting, 10 kills, 11. These guys could stim, but they're choosing not to. And looks like the Liberator will fall with 13 kills under its belt. Stim finish up for Space Lobster and Combat Shield now in production. If we look at the units lost tab, that is the value one Liberator just got. That is very, very good for RandomBanana. Look at that. For one Liberator, they got 8 SCVs and 5 Marines. That's brilliant. Look at that. A bit slow on the response, and you know, that stage of the game, you should probably have something for that. You should know that that's good timing. Or a scan comes down. Okay, so they see what, everything? Let me just yeah, okay, they see pretty much everything. All right, cool. They don't see any of this, but you know, more gas coming down at the second base. I'd like to see an expand from both players, but I guess these players are both doing a 2-base Terran. The wall-off for RandomBanana is complete. Stim and Combat Shield are now in production, so that advantage that the Marines have from the Spider Space Lobster will not last much longer. Unless an attack is rolls out very, very shortly. +1... In fact, +1 inventory weapons upgrade from the engineering bay will put them ahead. But once again, and now there is actually a good number of barracks, so production for RandomBanana can start to ramp up, and it looks like Liberators are going to be mixed in as well. Not Liberators, sorry, Marauders, you know, the guys with the cool grenade launchers. Meanwhile, back in Terran land, well, the other Terran land, I'm seeing a whole lot of supply blockage right now, which is pretty sad. Another starport coming down. Looks like Medivacs are now going to be the tech path of choice for our Terran, for both Terrans actually. So both Terrans probably playing a very straight up bio tank with Medivac build, which, you know, makes sense. This is what we expect to see. However, RandomBanana has the much larger army at this point, as they actually went on to build production substructures, not get supply cap, and just pump out constant units from them. So the army supply very favourably in favour of our green Terran here. And also in terms of tech as well, these upgrades are going to finish. These Marines are going to have Stim and Combat Shield, so they're not going to be behind the blue Marines. They're going to have +1 infantry upgrades. They're going to have concussive shells as well. So this army looking very, very impressive from RandomBanana. Meanwhile, Space Lobster, you've just stopped the Stim and Combat Shield, and your army is mostly just Marines, which, you know, the Marauders are going to, you know, the concussive shells are going to be pretty nasty, you know? So it's not looking good for you, honestly. So what do you do here if you're wanting to play like this? Well, first of all, I'd say more of your barracks you should have more barracks, and they should have reactors on them. And you should be putting down an engineering bay and getting some infantry upgrades for your Marines. Also, probably get a third base, because like you have more workers than you can saturate mineral lines. Like, you actually have more workers than is necessary. And that doesn't mean you should stop building workers. It means you should build a base and put your workers on that base, really. But, I mean, 2-base Terran is a strategy. It's completely fine. It's just, you know... Anywho, the longer this game goes on, the more equal the army supply becomes, but still heavily in favour of RandomBanana. And I think if this attack is to occur right now, it will just be a game. Not only is this army bigger, it's more technical as well. These Marines have better upgrades, just about, and these Marauders have concussive shells. There are a couple Liberators for the side of Space Lobster, but there are also siege tanks around RandomBanana here, which are going to get massive value against these guys. The army is going to clash right now, and as I say, this larger, more technical army, only by a bit, is just going to absolutely run over the Terran army. And I imagine with that, the game will go in favor of RandomBanana as well, very, very shortly. So just a lesson in, you know, building more production structures, building more stuff, and also having stuff a bit more technical than your opponent. So, you know. And with that, the game is over. Now, Space Lobster, I can't help but if you were, you know, you had an early game, you had a bit of an advantage in the early game, and then fell behind. So, you know, a little sad to see. Anyway, it's 1-0 to RandomBanana. GG.